John, chapter 3. The wind blows wherever it pleases. You hear its sound, but you cannot tell where it comes from or where it is going. So it is with everyone born of the Spirit. You have been praying to be led by something that does not own a map, that has never once presented an itinerary, that does not call ahead, that does not negotiate the destination. Last night, around 11, you meant every word of it. The tears were real, the open hands were real, the whatever you want, real. And then somewhere before 3 in the morning, while you were technically asleep, something in you reached back across the dark and quietly picked it all up again. You didn't decide to. The hands just closed the way a chest closes around a wound before the mind catches up. You have surrendered a great deal over the years, the plans that went cold, the old versions of yourself packed into boxes and left without a ceremony. But there is one drawer. You know exactly which one. He has been standing in front of it for months, maybe longer. Maybe it is not even a sin that is the specific cruelty of it. Maybe it is a plan you built slowly, the way you build anything you actually love, by hand at night in the hours other people spent not caring. Maybe it is a person, a version of the future you sketched and erased and sketched again. The drawing that kept surviving every reason it shouldn't. Every time he touches that drawer, you don't slam it. Slamming would require admitting there is something inside worth protecting. You just become very busy, very strategic, very full of legitimate reasons to think about something else. And he has been patient in a way that is starting to feel less like grace and more like a question you've been postponing for a very long time. There was a night, you know which one, when the hands were open and what you were holding fell through without warning. No time to adjust the grip, no chance to brace. The nervous system only needs that lesson once. After that, you learn to surrender with one hand, while the other quietly kept a copy. Not malice. The oldest, most human thing in the world. A body deciding it will never be caught empty-handed again. And now we carry it. The particular weight of a person who cannot fully rest, because rest requires putting something down. And the putting down still feels like a rehearsal for loss. This is not your faith failing. This is a body that decided the only safe pair of hands was its own, and has been working double shifts ever since. It was a day, not a beautiful surrender, a collapse. The Tuesday, when the plan came apart mid-sentence, when the exhaustion finished the argument you had been having with God for months. You did not release the grip. The grip released you. And in that specific, unglamorous, completely unplanned nothing, he was already there. Not with a replacement, not with an explanation, just present. The way heat stays in a room long after the fire is out. You survived. Not the way you would have chosen. And yet here you are. This is not a promise about the drawer. It is evidence about the nature of the wind. He does not wait for the grip to be ready before he enters. You don't have to throw it away. Just set it on the floor and sit next to it with your hands open.
I made the prayer at 11 with open hands and meant it. And before the morning found me, I had picked it up again. There is a drawer you keep returning to. You have been standing there for months. And every time your hand moves toward it, I become so very busy with something else. I know the night the fist was formed, I know what fell through open hands. I held it carefully, and still open hands can bleed. So I built a very quiet architecture where nothing moves without my knowing, where I leave the window latched at night so the wind stays out. But you go where you please, and I cannot hear where you've been. And the door you have been standing in front of is the only thing I have left that still feels like mine. There was a Tuesday I remember, when the grip just let me go. I did not choose it, I simply ran out. And you were already there, not with a map, not with a reason, just there. And that was enough. That was enough. So here are my hands. They will wanna close again. I already know they will. But right now, they're open. And the wind can come in.